Hey friends, welcome to the Crooked Spoon. I'm so glad you're here. In today's video, I thought it would be helpful to go over how I determined the cost of the products that I bake and sell. As you may know, I run a bakery out of my home kitchen thanks to my state's cottage food operator's permit. This allows me to shop at stores in my area for the ingredients that the state actually requires me to list in my application, as well as the source of my ingredients. So perhaps I'm buying them at my local supermarket or my local wholesale club or even an online store. But in order to determine how much my products will cost, I need to know exactly how much the per weight or volume or measure of each of my ingredients costs. So in this video, I'm going to help you do some math. I'm going to show you what ingredients in my area cost and how I break that cost down into the per gram cost of my ingredients, such as flour, sugar, butter, and even eggs. The idea here is that at any time in our economy that these ingredients prices might fluctuate, it won't make for a week or two of less profits for us as home bakers. Another thing we have to take into consideration is our state's minimum wage. I happen to live in New Jersey, where our minimum wage is at least $15. So I work this into the cost of my products. That is how long it takes me to make my products. Some are more straightforward and others require more time. Follow along as I show you my spreadsheets, my math, my numbers, my menu, and exactly how I determined the product cost. Here is my spreadsheet that I created to keep track of all of the ingredients that I need to have on hand for my home bakery, as well as the stores that I typically buy them from. As you can see, I've listed out the ingredients, the brands, and the prices. What I'm going to do here is to show you how I figured out the cost of using King Arthur bread flour in my recipes. I can buy a 10-pound bag for $11.99. So that means that every pound costs $1 and about 19 cents. Since my recipes are all in grams, I need to convert that pound into grams by dividing by 454. So now I know that every gram of bread flour that I use costs me 0.0026 cents. In a typical bread recipe where I'm using 500 grams of flour, that will cost me $1.32 just for bread flour. So using this spreadsheet, I found out the per gram cost for all of my ingredients. Let's do another example. Powdered sugar. Each pound of powdered sugar will cost me $1.32. Since there are 454 grams in a pound, each gram of powdered sugar will cost me 0.0029. Now I know that doesn't sound like a lot per gram of powdered sugar, but if I was making my cream cheese frosting, which requires 480 grams of powdered sugar, I know that making one batch of cream cheese frosting will cost $1.39 just for the powdered sugar. For each recipe, I find out the cost of every ingredient. Eggs are a hot commodity right now, but they shouldn't break the bank because they're just one piece of a recipe. Once you have found the per gram cost of your recipes, or the per ounce, or the per cup, or the per tablespoon, however you choose to break your recipes down, we can then move on to pricing out your items. My next spreadsheet shows each one of my recipes and the total cost for all the ingredients. Depending on where you live, you would then consider the hourly minimum wage of your state. Here in New Jersey, that's about $15. So I've allocated in most of my recipes a half an hour of my time being $7.5. I also have to consider all of the packaging, the boxes, the stickers, the labels, and that goes into my calculation as well. My menu price reflects that, and then I also keep track of exactly what my profit is. As you can tell, some items make more of a profit than others. For instance, my cherry pies are a lot more time consuming, so I've allocated a full hour of my time, $15 an hour. That really increases the price of the pie for my customers. So ultimately, my profit for pies is not as high as some other things on my menu. And finally, I keep track of all of my expenses from day one. This will not only help for tax reasons, but it will also keep the realistic profits that I am making. It will take a while to earn back all of my costs. Here is my menu that I offer my customers. I am in the process of expanding it. Let me know what your menu's like in the comments below. Thanks for following along, friends. I hope this video gave you a little more insight as to how I came up with my product prices, and I hope it encourages you to get to the math and the detailed prices of each of your ingredients so that you can give your customers a fair price that also reflects the effort and time and ingredients in your area that go into these products. I'll see you in my next video. Please like and subscribe. The Crooked Spoon.